Peace. So here I am going live here, and I just want to go live to basically talk about Black fertility and what I'm going to be doing over the next few days. And I'm recording on two cameras, so if I'm looking back and forth, that's why. But I'm very excited to introduce Black fertility to you, and of course, Black fertility as an action, and is nothing new. But I feel like it's time to basically revive the spirit of fertility in our people, because it seems as though the Black birth rate has been in a decline, and there's even supposed facts and all that to back it up. And for me, I'm like, I know that they lie about these statistics, and I know that there are people having babies that nobody knows about, right? But I feel as though if you tell me that the Black birth rate is declining, I feel like I have to do something about that, right? So if this is all a lie and all a hoax and just something to make people do this, that, or the other, they shouldn't have let me know. Well, so basically what I want to talk to you about is what I'm going to be doing about over the next 7 days, and why. So So I basically want to help people to learn how to boost their fertility naturally, right? Because a lot of people are, going to seek IVF treatment and doing all types of other things, surrogacy, and adoption. And obviously I have no problem with adoption or any of these things. If those are the methods that you have to use in order to conceive a baby, that is absolutely fine with me. I'm here basically to encourage women to go within themselves and to, use your body for what it was made for, and to not rely on all these outside forces, right? So basically, I feel as though women should learn how to boost their fertility naturally. We're at a time where all the foods, the pollution, the even technological pollution, like from 5G phones and so forth, all of these things can affect your fertility in negative ways. And, so it's no wonder why they're saying that the birth rates are down for all races, not just Black, it's all races. But Black people, your birth rate is also declining. And in some cases, other birth rates that were low, we're no longer that far off from them, right? We're within a 10-point mark between whites, Hispanic, and Black. Like, all the birth rates are within the same range now. And another reason why boosting your birth rate is so important is because no society has basically ever survived with a birth rate of less than 1.8, or without being able to replace themselves. So if people are only having, say, 2 children, or if they're only they're barely able to get pregnant now, we're not gonna be able to replace ourselves. And we're basically, if we're not in that range, we're getting very close. And if we continue in this way, we're definitely going to be there. And it's hard to tell because we're not out there counting how many people are having babies or not. But we know that we went from our grandparents having 13, 14, and 15 children to barely having 2 or 3. And in some places, if you have more than 2 or 3, you're really looked at downly. You get people asking you, how do you manage, or why are you having so many children, and so forth. And so children has become something that is taboo in a lot of places, right? And it's just real. It's not even a joke. If you have more than 2 children, you're basically just cast out in a certain way, and nobody wants to help you, and they feel as though you're something is wrong with you. And people have just developed a really sick mentality when it comes to fertility and childbirth and child raising. So I want to get back to the point, which is basically to help women to boost their fertility naturally. I've always been a very natural, herbal, woman, and I feel as though that needs to come back to the forefront, because some of these other methods is unnecessary. You don't necessarily need to do all these other methods if you knew how to boost your fertility, if you knew that fertility was something that was basically indicative of good health, is tied to good health. we can't be talking about be vegan and doing all these things and not see the connection between your fertility and your health, whereas infertility is tied to poor health, right? So by the time a lot of people learn that, you know, they have infertility issues and they start to become vegan, it's like, to some degree, it's like you waited so long to even think about your fertility, right? Well, we should be maintaining our fertility throughout our entire life cycle as much as possible. And you know, obviously at some point for some people they're not going to be as fertile anymore, but I still believe that there are other metaphysical ways of being fertile outside of conception, outside of being able to have a baby. But definitely being able to physically have a baby is a sign of health. And also that if you cannot have a baby, there's some, your genes may be weakened. It may be something that you're doing. They're saying now that a lot of medications and so forth are weakening people's actual genes, not just your fertility, but the genes of your offspring. So a lot of things that are affecting your fertility are also affecting the genes of your offspring. So we have to be aware of that, like for those who even want to have a baby. And you know, if your genes are weakened and then you're seeking other treatments that are not necessarily natural and you don't necessarily know the outcome, you could be having an offspring who with even weaker genes than had you just try to boost your strength, your immunity, and your fertility, you know, and went that route, right? And so I also feel that Black people basically need to act now, because there's a lot of people, and there's even reports about this, that women are waiting too long, and I guess men too are waiting too long to seek treatment for infertility, or, you know, trying to have a baby. So basically by bringing fertility back to, you know, the forefront, they're not something that just we think about, you know, after we done partied and had all the fun and are 30 or 40. By bringing it back to, you know, people's attention, I feel like basically we can help to basically just maintain at a healthy level. Because if our birth rate is low, that shows it's a sign of mental illness to me. If a whole society's birth rate is low, what are you thinking about? What are you doing? What are you doing to not want to not think about that? For that to, you know, for that to be something that's degraded, or you degrade people who are pregnant and so forth. And I'm talking even about teens. Even the teen birth rate is low for all races, right? The funny thing about that is that the teens who live in the suburbs, their birth rate is a little higher than the birth rate of the teens who live in the city. So it shows that there is a certain mentality that is being spread and propagated amongst certain people who live in certain places, right? But it's still generally overall has decreased. And we know if you live in a city, really a lot of stuff that you're thinking about is work, school, rent, and so forth. But work, school, and rent is not necessarily going to carry on your lineage. It's not going to perpetuate us being here on this planet, right? So we got to bring back fertility into the fold. And even in saying that, what? Right, so I want us to go back to basically doing things naturally, because you can improve or increase your fertility, and you can do that naturally. You don't need all these medications. You don't need all these procedures and treatments and so forth, right? You can improve your fertility longer, right? We were told that, you know, by the time a woman is 40, she can no longer have children and so forth, or she goes into menopause. And we see that that's not necessarily the case. We see women having children in their 50s and their 60s. Why? Why is that not something that was normal and okay? Why is it seen as something that is just an isolated incident, right? The reason why these women are able to have children at that age is because they're still healthy. They're still very vital. You know, something that they're doing is improving their fertility up until then, they may not be eating all the junk food. They may not be consuming all the mental propaganda and stigmas about childbirth and fertility and so forth, right? So we need to tap into that experience and into that wisdom, right? And I definitely feel that Black people need to, take the action now to increase the birth rate, because we are so easily brainwashed into a lot of the programming, like, just being ushered where our attention should go. Black people watch the most TV, and you could look at studies and see that we watch the most TV. That means we're receiving the most brainwashing. In some cases, just so materialistic and just so driven to capitalism that we don't really take time to appreciate life and appreciate nature, right? And even appreciate the children that we could have or should have or already have, right? So I definitely want to bring back the attention, right, to fertility and to family and life, and basically the things that sustain us and keep us here. And of course, I don't mean keep us here in the lower density energies or anything like that, but keep us here in the harmonious type of way, right? Because it can be done again. We can definitely bring that back. So what I want you to do is to basically go to my bio on Instagram, and I have a link there, right? If you go to that link and subscribe or sign up, send me your email, I'll basically be able to send you notifications of when I'm going to do these lives, some other posts. I'm going to be doing videos, blogs, and just other post affirmations, just really and tips on how to boost your fertility naturally. So definitely go to my bio, click on the link, and send me your email, so that way I can feed you this information in small bite-sized portions, so you can grasp it, because it's a lot of information when dealing with fertility and learning something new, and I want to be able to give that to you, provide it to you in a way that you can understand and that you can actually apply to your life, right? So the next thing I want you to do is obviously to turn on the notifications for this video, whether you're on Instagram or YouTube, right? Turn on the notifications, and then also to tag 3 friends into this video. So if you can find 3 friends who maybe are struggling with infertility, you think should know something about infertility, or who you basically just want to share this information and see their reaction, see what they think, definitely tag 3 friends or share this with 3 friends. And so the next thing again is to also follow for the next 6 days, because I'm gonna be doing live streams for at least the next 6 days. 7 days of live streams is what I'm intending on doing. So on day 1, we're basically going to be talking about how to increase your fertility naturally. On day 2, we're going to talk about how to stop thinking that you can't conceive, because a lot of people actually think they can't conceive because they've been told that they cannot conceive, or that they're infertile, or that they have what do they call it, unexplained infertility, right? And I want to show you that you don't have to accept that diagnosis. You don't have to accept that, right? So the next thing is on day 4, on day 3, we're going to talk about how to have a fertility mindset, right? Because you need to maintain a fertility mindset for all the days of your life. Once you stop thinking in a fertile way, you're dead. You're not just not able to have a child. You're actually physically, spiritually, and emotionally, you're dead, right? So I want to help you to keep a fertility mindset, regardless of whether you want to have children now or not, regardless of whether you already have children and you don't think that fertility is necessary. I want to show you why fertility and why having a fertility mindset is very vital and key, right? To staying young, potent, and just beautiful, just being here and just being alive, right? So on day 4, we're going to be talking about choosing a natural fertility treatment option, right? And a lot of people don't know what the options are. They don't know that there's more options than just IVF and IUI or surrogacy or adoption. A lot of people don't know that there are so many ways to boost and increase your fertility naturally, and there's probably so many other ways that are actually decreasing your fertility. We're going to talk about that on day 4, how to choose a natural fertility treatment option. And then on day 5, we're going to also talk about how to know when you ovulate, because a lot of people have been misguided, misled, lied to in some cases, just outright lied to about what ovulation is and when you ovulate. And they don't, you do not ovulate on just on day 14 just because they say you do. Let me just put that out. All women do not have a 28-day cycle and ovulate on day 14. I have a video on my YouTube page on how to know when you ovulate, or why you don't know when you ovulate. So definitely go and check that out. So that's day 5. So on day 6, we're going to talk about how to live a fertility friendly lifestyle. And so that's what I've been talking about, where you maintain your fertility all the days of your life. And it's not just something just to have a baby, right? So we're going to be talking about that on day 6. And on day 7, I'm going to have a little bonus secret live stream that I'm not going to tell you about right now, but I definitely want you to follow me for these full 7 days to learn more about that, right? So if you could definitely just go to my bio right now to learn more about Black Fertility, and also send me the email so you can also get upcoming emails, upcoming courses, newsletters, ebooks, and more information, right? I would definitely love to send that all to you and to basically help you along your fertility journey. And I also have some other beautiful pictures and stuff that I'm going to be posting up, and that I've already posted up, and some information, so you can learn more just about everything down to your organs, the vagina, other parts of your body, your breast, just everything, because fertility is like a whole complete being method and experience, and it's not just about having a baby. A lot of times we need to be thinking about fertility in terms of building that fertility up, not just I want to have a baby today, so what can I do today? You sometimes you need to work on your organs and your hormones, and for at least 3 months ahead of time, right? So having a fertility mindset, you'll be able to see the value in that, and see the value in why you need to maintain a fertility mindset, and don't just wait until you just want a baby, because that's another thing, is that there's even reports that women are just waiting too long to do anything about their fertility. And we know Black women especially, we may not even, it's just not even a thought. We have somehow through slavery and all of that, we have casted some of that very down. We've buried a lot of that urge to want to be mothers, and urge to want to proudly and openly conceive a child. A lot of times we kind of hide that and don't tell our friends and don't tell our family, because we're afraid about what they're going to say about them. And I want to cast that out. I want to cast that out and bring back in life, birth, fertility, and health back into our minds, our wombs, our families, our consciousness. So if you're just tuning in now, thank you for watching. I'm going to be ending this video right now, but you can also go and check it out on my YouTube at Black Fertility, or Black Fertility TV. It's really just Black Fertility, but for YouTube I have it called Black Fertility TV. So definitely check it out there. This live will be going live, and I'll probably put little cuts or something on my Instagram. So thank you for watching, and I will see you tomorrow in the morning, where we will be talking about, again, how to naturally increase your fertility. So stay tuned and look forward to that. Peace.